trial of Darren Wilson versus Michael Brown. Okay. Now, this, unless you've been in the Rock, this is all what's been on the news. The fall on Ferguson, the cop. He run out. If you don't know, Darren Wilson killing shooting the kid, Michael Brown. You had numerous witnesses say that he had his hands on me when he got shot. The cop, he did it with a lot of malice. We don't know. I really don't know because we really weren't there. No one really has clear video of what really went on, but a lot of witnesses said that he had his hands on. So, Governor Ferguson, how do you feel when they failed to indict Michael or Darren Wilson?
Well, the first thing that gets me the most in this, when you look at the story, that a young black man, 18 years old, will go up to a police car, reach inside the window, across the police officer's body, and try to take his gun. I wouldn't believe that in 100 years. His father, stepdaddy, just said it on TV last night. I was saying this from the very beginning. It makes no sense. What child, what adult is going to run up to a police car, go through the window, cross the police officer, and reach for your gun? It sounds totally ridiculous.
Totally. You want anything?
I have, I guess, mixed emotions when it comes to this situation, as opposed to the Trayvon Martin situation we talked earlier, because he was just on his way home, from visiting the store. Whereas in this case, and I don't know, all the specific details, I'm not gonna say I'm a Mike Brown, situation expert, but I do know allegedly did he steal some cigarillos or something from the store?
Cigars,
Yes, cigars, which is, and I'm not justifying as any reason to lose your life over.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have to look at, well, if you had never done that, would it never set off these chains
Change the reaction.
of events, that happen? So, I guess I just have mixed emotions when it comes to this case, because I feel like it's unfortunate. He shouldn't have died, but again, as young black males, you have to learn. And again, he was just stealing. A lot of kids steal, so I'm not going to say that, he was like this violent criminal. A lot of kids steal. And I'm, not justifying something, but kids do those types of things. But as young black male, again, with the white privilege, you can't do the same things that young white men do. So I just feel like, and I'm not blaming him for his death, but as young black men, we have to take some type of accountability and teach our sons, you can't do these things. And not saying that even that will change everything, but you got to start from your community, on the inside. And then we see these riots and different things like that, but there's so much black on black crime, and there's so many people dying, in Norfolk and on Portsmouth and these places every week. So it's like, what are we gonna do as a community? And I don't know if I kind of switched the topic from Ferguson, but it's like, where's the riots and stuff when that stuff happens? Like, what are we gonna do? Like, how do you expect these people who don't know how it feels to be targeted by policemen? How do you expect them to value our lives when we don't? If you can kill your brother for something, well, I say brother, I mean your wife for something so stupid. How do you expect them to see our lives as anything?
Well, Britt, I'm gonna piggyback on you again. That's the same argument I've been facing on these social media sites. Like, they'll say, well, look at Chicago, look at so and so. Now I truly understand it's violent, it's a high crime rate there. But once again, we're not paying criminals to serve and protect us. See, I think that's the disconnect people understand. We're not paying this dope dealers on the street to watch your mom, your kids go to the store. I mean, we're not paying them. The cops are. We are paying the cops. Now they say, like I said, my thing, I'm like God, it doesn't make sense to me. A kid, if he just think about it, if he just stole cigarillos, allegedly, why would he want to reach into a car with a thing full of stolen cigarillos? And then how could he? And that's another thing too. He never did say what happened to the cigarillos. He just said he had a handful of them. Now that never made sense to me. He with a hand clutch full of cigarillos, he reached in your car to get a gun. I mean, it never made sense to me. But I truly understand where you're going there with the black and white crime, the violence. But like I said, when it all boils down, we don't pay criminals to watch them. I truly understand. I get where you're going. I truly get it. But we're not paying Joe the dope dealer down the street to to, watch our kids cross the street to get to school. No, we paying, service, the police officer, cross guards. So that's why I tell people don't try to fall too much into that. You know what I'm saying? And then they don't look at the statistics too when they look at the black and white crime. Most of those crimes are drug related, and basically, I say most of the drug related, gang related. So it's not like Joe, the high school player, he want to go gang banging. It's not that type. It's just they control a turf in that neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, maybe I might be wrong. I don't know. How do y'all feel about the riots that's going on in Ferguson?
I think that's crazy. Because to me, what is breaking into businesses and burning businesses down, things like that, like how is that helping the cause? If anything, that to me makes white people look at us like, you proving the point, Now, the peaceful protest and everything, I'm fine with that, but the whole looting and burning, like, to me, that's crazy. You're just giving them more fuel for the fight. And how it's stealing, because I know, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I know one of my coworkers told me they were breaking in liquor stores and different things like that. I'm like, well, how is that helping the cause? It's stealing food and liquor and things for your house, that's not helping the cause. So anything that's harming the cause. Because they're looking at stuff like that to pick and be like, oh, well, see, this is what we're talking about. They're animals, they're this, they're that. So
Savages.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, I like to say this as a former member of the Black Panthers.
Oh, really?
Well, let me back up. Before I was a Black Panther, I was in New York. They had stuff going on in Bensonhurst, Howard Beach. Okay? I'm a younger person. And I would get upset. And I felt like we need to go burn the neighborhood down. That's how I felt about it. Then when I got with the Black Panthers and I brought this up, they said that was not a good idea. And the reason why it's not a good idea, because particularly in white neighborhoods, they have insurance. You burn down their stuff,
They get paid for it.
and they like, all right. They go get all brand new stuff, everything fixed up. So even Martin Luther King, even though he was peaceful, he did advocate that rioting and stuff, it played a role. Sometimes, matter of fact, he was talking about in Alabama, they had the Children's March. Because some people made a complaint over, a girl got shot by a rubber bullet high in Ferguson. Okay, we was talking about that, and the lady says, well, we shouldn't have kids going out to these protests and stuff like that. And during Martin Luther King's time and them, they actually had a children's march, because when you start, we shouldn't put our children in danger. I understand that, because you wouldn't think there would be any danger with protesting, because we have a right to do that. Okay, but sometimes we need our children for the big picture. When you see cops kill kids, there may be some people get some sympathy for it. Not that we want our kids killed, not that we're putting them out there in danger or anything like that. But having young people out there can make a change. It will make the difference. People will see it different when you have your children out there, let alone if you abuse the children.
Yeah, my kids. Well, I guess that wraps it up for Ferguson. Stay tuned, there's more.